Hi everybody, Erin Woods here for part 2 of our little series on asking. If you watched part 1, I was actually here with my husband, Justin, and we did a video about mindset that kind of got off track a little bit, but he's just so passionate about our business and about helping us be successful as partners with Trades of Hope so that we can impact more women around the world and more families, but also have success for ourselves. And he's seen firsthand what it has done for my own personal business and my income and all of those kinds of things for building a team. So this video will be a little bit shorter, and I'm flying solo for this one because I wanted to talk about who to ask and about some tools that I use to kind of track and create that like funnel of different people that I'm working with and kind of helping them fit into the different areas of Trades of Hope, whether they're going to be customers, hostesses, or partners, or kind of go through that whole experience. But since I am alone, I did want to share a story about my husband, about Justin, that I thought was pretty awesome. And, we've been together for more than half of our lives. We've been married for 17 years, but I love that we continue to learn things about each other. And so he shared this story with me the other night when we were talking about this video series. So he used to work at McDonald's, and kind of his first big life plan was to be an owner-operator of McDonald's. And so when he was in college, he worked as a manager of a McDonald's and going to school full-time. And the plan was always to he went to Hamburger University, and he was planning to be an owner-operator. That didn't end up happening, but he has a lot of incredible experiences from his time working at McDonald's. And so he was telling me, we were talking about that whole idea of just being curious about people and asking people questions and getting to know people, and just not necessarily putting your plan on them, but allowing their plan or their ideas to come out, and how you can influence that in a positive way. And so he was telling me about this woman, Judy, who was one of his openers. And I don't know if you are familiar with this, but to open a McDonald's, I think you have to be there at like 4:30 in the morning. And I remember when we were dating, he was like 21, 22 years old, and he would, we would stay up really, really late, and then he would get up the next morning at like 3:30 and go into work. But Judy was one of his openers and was one of his best workers. She always worked back cash, and she made amazing biscuits. And he said Judy had at least 2 kids. He thought she possibly had 4, but she was a mom. She's a single mom. And she was never late to work, and was always there and did a great job. And so Justin, was talking to Judy, and she was a woman that had more potential, like potential beyond her job at McDonald's. And so Justin was always asking her questions about her interests, and and he was like, why don't you go get a job somewhere else? You could probably make a lot more money. And she said, this is the closest place that I can walk. I don't have a car. Or another mode of transportation. So Justin went to his boss, and he said, I want to buy Judy a bike. And his boss said, okay, go for it. And so Justin bought Judy a bicycle and gave it to her, and she was really emotional and started crying. And he's like, I just wanted to make it a little bit easier for you. And well, lo and behold, Judy quit, and she went on to get a job somewhere else. Probably a better job and somewhere that she could get to, because now she had a bicycle. And I don't know, like when he told me that story, I was like, how have you never told me that story? That's amazing. I mean, and he's like, I don't know, like I listened to her, and this is what she needed, and I helped fulfill that need. And I was like, but you ended up having, like, you lost one of your best employees in the process. And he's like, yeah, but her life was improved by it, and she was able to go do something better. She had a better option because he got her that bike. And I was like, that is so much about not only what we do with our artisans, where we're giving women freedom and opportunity and options and, the ability to make different choices in their lives because they have a job, or they have a bicycle, or they have, just different options because of the work that they have. But then, we also do that in our relationships with potential customers and hostesses and partners. Is we're really just exploring relationships and being curious about people and seeing how we can serve them. And, just like Justin, did with Judy, even though it didn't necessarily benefit him, if anything, it was like not a good thing for him because he lost a great opener and a great biscuit maker, but he made her life better. And I feel like we have such a beautiful opportunity to do that with our businesses. When we're at parties, sometimes that's why I never want to like judge a situation going into a party, because I genuinely, without question, know that God puts me in situations and puts me in front of people that I never would have met without Trades of Hope. And when I'm open to that experience and not judging it and just listening and being curious about people, I learn so much and I make connections, and those connections may or may not lead to sales or future bookings or somebody partnering with me. But if I can serve that individual by being curious and being a good listener, then I've done my job, and I have had an incredible experience in the process. And then the flip side of that, the other thing that can happen is that relationship can turn into a sale or a hostess or a potential partner. But if I went into these situations or any conversation that I had thinking about what I can get out of it for me, or any kind of like desperation or even judgment of a situation, like this is going to be a good party or a bad party, or this person wants to join or this person doesn't want to join, like good or bad, like any judgment on a situation is always going to result or is typically not going to go the way that I want it to go, because I'm making it about me. So I just wanted to share that with you, and kind of building on that mindset of, being curious about people and entering into every party situation, whether it's an online party, a in-home party, any networking thing that you've gone to, a follow-up conversation, that you're entering into those conversations with a sense of curiosity, a sense of servitude, like how can I serve this person's needs, and kind of taking your own expectation and desires out of it. And it takes a while to get to that, comfort level, because sometimes we want things to move faster than they are moving, right? Like here it is, I'm filming this, it's the beginning of the year, it's January. I want, my calendar to be full. I want this to be, I want people to be joining. I want, these things to be happening. But I've definitely learned in my time as a partner with Trades of Hope that things just take a long time, and that's okay. Sometimes things happen quickly, but a lot of times things just have to simmer, and I have to be patient and, add that to the list of incredible things, growth opportunities that I've had in my time as a partner with Trades of Hope, is just learning to be patient and let things kind of happen the way that they're supposed to happen. So when you're thinking about who to ask, you can ask anyone, but really it's about just asking, what's going on in your life? What do you need? What are you missing? Having conversations, being curious with people, and listening for those opportunities to fill and serve a need. And if Trades of Hope is a way to fill or serve that need, then put that out there. I think that's the biggest thing, is that we can't be afraid to just offer that as a potential solution to somebody's problem or need that they have. And if they're like, no, that's not that's not going to solve the problem, or hey, I don't know, I wouldn't have thought of that. Again, like we said in the other video, if you don't put it out there, if you don't offer it, then the answer will always be no. So that's one of my things for this year. I'm really going to enter into parties and with more of an openness to offering joining as a potential solution or a potential filling of somebody's need for every single party guest that I come in contact with. And I'm going to not make any judgment, just like I don't make any judgment about who's going to say yes or no to a party. I ask every single person. I'm going to get back to asking every single person if partnering with Trades of Hope might be something that they want to do or be interested in. Now, something that I have loved from a practical standpoint, it was introduced a few years back by Jill Butler at one of our retreats, and it's the Join My Team notebook. It's just a composition notebook. So it's nothing fancy, it's 50 cents, that you can use as your way to track the people that you're having conversations with. So I've been using this particular one for a few years. I fold down the pages when they either join or I get kind of a hard no. But it's not like fancy notes. It's like their name, their phone number, the dates of our contacts, and just a little simple log for me to keep track of those people. Now, if the join my team phrase isn't what you want to call it, you can literally call it anything you want. It can be your, vision of hope for 2020. It can be, my partners. But do make it kind of about like you. Like this is your record of who you are building these relationships with. Maybe you call it your Get Curious notebook. I mean, there's a million different things you can call it. I decided to get a new one for 2020. I felt like this one was awesome and has served me really well, but I loved the yellow, so I got myself a yellow one for 2020, and I haven't named it yet, but I am going to do something nice and bold on the front. It might be the Join My Team notebook for 2020, like the 2.0 version. And I'm going to really be intentional this year about being curious and asking questions and just making sure that I'm partnering to every single person that I come in contact with, through Trades of Hope, because I know that I can be my own biggest barrier to building and growing. And, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that in 2020. I want to be curious. I want to be open to people, and I want to serve people's needs, even if it doesn't ultimately, serve me, of course, just like Judy and that bike and Justin. It was a beautiful story that probably changed that woman's life, because he took an interest in what she needed and didn't make it about him needing a really good, reliant employee. So grab a composition notebook while you're at the grocery store this week, or at Target or Walmart or wherever, 50 cents, and use this tool as a way to track who you are asking. And just start. Just even if you only have one name to put in the notebook, put that name in the notebook. That is the biggest key to anything like this, is just beginning and not worrying about what you didn't do in 2019. Just start today. I mean, I'm starting with you. That's why I'm getting a fresh notebook. I'm making a fresh commitment to asking and putting joining at the forefront, because frankly, it is the biggest impact that we can make on our mission and our artisans. And I am committed to that. I've committed the past 7 years of my life to growing this business, this company, so that we can impact more and more lives. I believe in this mission with my heart and body and soul. And so I need to walk that out by being bolder with my asking. So hope you enjoyed this, a little bit shorter. And the next installment may or may not include Justin. I don't know if you enjoyed having him here or not. I did. But the next installment, I'll try to bring him back for the next one. But anyway, thanks for watching, and get out there and get curious. Grab your composition notebook and ask. Just start asking. Offer Trades of Hope, partnering with Trades of Hope as a possible solution, and see what happens. All right, bye guys.